financial stress and money mindset. This is video number 1 in the series, and today I want to talk about the foundation, the most important thing that you're experiencing. You're trying to make changes in your life. You're trying to attract more abundance. You're trying to attract more money. You're trying to create something to happen different than what is going on and some level of success, but it's not working. You're doing everything. You're doing all the manifesting techniques. You're meditating, you're visualizing, you're trying to raise your vibration. You're trying to have positive thoughts, focusing on what you want, and a million other techniques that are really good techniques, but they're just not working. If this is happening to you, this series is going to help you a lot. We need to really have the correct foundation before we start putting these manifesting techniques on top of it. Otherwise, they're just not going to hold. They're not going to work. Now, a lot of stuff is going on under the surface. If we're here in life and we want to get here, if we can't handle here, if we have unfinished business from the past, if we have lack of self-confidence, if we don't believe in ourselves, if we think we're not worthy or not good enough, or we're having trouble with money, if we have a lot of issues, if we have anxiety and panic, we don't feel safe in the world, whatever it is, if we have difficulty handling our emotions and we're here, if we can't handle being here fully with what we feel in the moment, there's no way we can level up and handle more. We have to be fully here, completely confident in ourselves with where we are to be able to handle more. That's what this first video is about. It's really getting into that first foundation to start creating that. We need to do the groundwork first to create that solid foundation here to step up from. Now imagine you're trying to get to Disneyland and you've got one of the old-fashioned maps, now we got the navigators on the phone. It still applies on the phone, but the map makes more sense. You look on the map, there's Disneyland, yeah, let's go. And you start heading towards what you think is the direction to Disneyland. Well, this is the way the road's going, we're heading out there. And you spend a while and you're driving, but you're not there yet. And you don't see any sign with an arrow saying Disneyland is this way. So you're confused. So you look at the map, okay, Disneyland's there. Okay, I'll keep going. But you don't get there. You just keep going around in circles. Sometimes you come back to the same place you were. You're confused, you're lost. You just can't get there. Why can't you get there? Well, there's one thing missing in this journey to Disneyland. It's where are you on the map? You need to be clear with where you are before you can start moving towards your goals. And in this case, it's Disneyland. And you got to look on the map and figure out, where am I on the map? Oh, I'm here. I thought I was who knows where, over there, but no wonder I couldn't find my way to Disneyland. Once you figure out where you are right here, right now, that is the most important thing. Now you can relate a direction to where you want to go, and you can navigate there and take steps toward that direction and know that you're actually going in that direction. And then you can figure out what's working and what's not. So what's working? Well, apparently nothing's working, because you're watching this video, things aren't working. I'm wanting to make some changes and figure out, why is this not working? I'm stressed about money all the time and I can't seem to, or whatever I'm wanting to attract in my life, I can't seem to do it. And it's always, something keeps sabotaging it, or I'm having trouble procrastinating, focusing on it, and I get distracted, and what's wrong with me? I got no willpower, whatever the goal is. So what we really need to do is create that foundation to be clear with where we are, the honest truth. And the only way we can really do that is to start spending time with our inner self. And it's a meditation practice, a simple awareness practice to sit every day, to sit and spend time, preferably first thing in the morning, and start being with your feelings and emotions. They will guide you when you start connecting to your feelings and emotions. There are probably a lot of limiting beliefs that are holding you back. If you're here watching this video, keeping you from the success you want. There could be old beliefs holding you back, lack of self-confidence, beliefs about money that, for me, it was always you had to work really, really, really physically hard for your money, but you couldn't spend it. There was money, but we were always poor. We could never spend any, but we had to work really, really hard. So it was horrible. Like, you know, you try and work really hard to make some money, but then you can't spend it. So money habits just turned into, you know, trying to make money as quick as possible, as easy, and spend it as quick as you can, because you're afraid you're not going to get to have it, but then you're always broke, and it leads to all these problems. So looking at what are your beliefs around money? What is holding you back? What happened in your life that led to you watching this video where things aren't working? It's figuring out the problem, understanding the blocks, the limitation, the limiting beliefs in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious has no concept of past, present, or future. Okay, it just operates as a survival system, and simply put, that if you have some belief that supported you long ago, maybe you got up in class and you did an oral report when you were 14 years old in school, and you're 40 now, but it didn't go well, and somebody made a joke and laughed at you in class, and the whole class laughed at you, and you were humiliated. And so now, putting yourself out there, you get anxiety. It's your subconscious mind wants to protect you and keep you from ever feeling that feeling ever again, because that was the worst feeling in the world, being humiliated and laughed at. But to succeed in your business or whatever your goal is, you have to put yourself out there. So every time you put yourself out there, you get a panic attack. That's your subconscious mind. It doesn't know that it's, 25, 30 years later. It doesn't know that, and it's trying to protect you from having that feeling ever again, from being laughed at and ridiculed. So you can't put yourself out there. The anxiety is helping you. But it doesn't know that actually I'm not going to have people laugh at me now and ridicule me now. I'm really good at what I do. I know what I do. So how can I move through this? It's moving through understanding where it came from, and understanding the anxiety and stress, that it's a coping mechanism helping to protect you, to keep you to survive, but the subconscious is not helping you to thrive. We want to get the subconscious mind to align with your conscious desires and present place where you are now, to help you and support you working towards your goals and to help you to achieve them. So we need to understand what are the limiting beliefs holding us back. That's where the meditation practice, sitting, the awareness practice, to sit and to spend the time every day, just sit and be with what you feel. Spend 5, 10, 15 minutes, preferably a good 15 minutes, maybe even a bit more, every day. It's not that hard. It seems really hard, but you're just sitting there. Watch your mind, watch your thoughts, see what happens. When you get distracted and pulled away in thought, notice and keep coming back to your breath. Do it with eyes closed for a little bit, maybe 5, 10 breaths. Focus on those, and then open your eyes. Maybe pick a point on the wall to just focus at. Notice how you get distracted away from what you're looking at from your breath, and bring your attention back. Keep practicing coming back. The present moment is here. When there's a limiting belief that's supporting us and sabotaging us and keeping us and blocking, keeping us from our goals and putting ourselves out there, limiting us, whatever negative thoughts in our head, undermining our confidence, it's a dissociation. You're here in the present moment, but what's happening, it's disconnecting you from the present moment, because it's not safe from whatever the perception is of the long time thing that happened that your subconscious is trying to protect you from, like that getting up in front of the class. So you disconnect, you sort of dissociate from the moment. But we can only manifest and create from the moment, from being present with here right now. Otherwise, we're just operating from old beliefs and old thoughts and repeating, regurgitating the past and getting the same old lack of success that we keep getting. And we just keep repeating that. So as we sit there and we practice being with what we feel, sit there and practice, just breathe, feel, and notice how your mind wants to pull you away. Keep coming back to your breath and your body feelings and sensations. What happens is, in time, you start to get used to and build comfort in being with what you feel. Every day, if you sit at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever the time is, you're going to feel different emotions every day. Some days, a little bit similar to the day before. Other days, very different. And after a month or so of doing this, you will have moved through a full range of your emotions and gotten used to quite a bit. So you're building friends with your emotional feelings and your body presence and the present moment and your relationship with your mind in the present moment. So practicing being there and breathing, and look around. Okay, is it safe? And acknowledge, yes, it's safe. We need to make sure it's safe, because all these old limiting beliefs come from it's not safe because I couldn't handle whatever was going on. So we need to be able to handle and get used to what we feel, what's going on in the moment. That's why we sit. And we practice formally every day, being with what we feel. And we start to then associate safety. I'm practicing in a safe place. I'm going into my breathing. So what happens is I'm out and about in life trying to do something, and I trigger into some emotional challenge, lack of confidence, worry, fear, doubt, anxiety, stress. Okay, I've got this habit of going into my breathing now. The awareness practice, I fall back into the breathing. All of a sudden, I'm associating to my subconscious mind through my breathing, it's safe. Because when I practice meditating every day, look around, it's safe, go into my breathing, slow my breathing down, focus on my breathing, my body feelings. That's associating, creating the connection of safety to your body feelings and sensations, and that'll help you in life. You'll start to see what's going on. Now start to look at the patterns. What are the patterns in my life? What are the habits that I keep doing that are really sabotaging me? Be honest with yourself. What is sabotaging? What's keeping me from my goals? Probably the first thing that comes to your mind is going to be it. You might not want to hear it, but just be honest with yourself. We need to understand the problem, what's holding us back. Do I feel I'm not good enough? Do I feel I am unworthy of success? Do I feel like I'm a bad person? What were the habits? What was it like growing up around money, about the things of success? Did I have somebody put me down all of the time? Did they take it away from me and say, this is how you do it? Were you called stupid? Were you put down? So these are all the things that lead to these habits now of not being able to have the success that we want. And so this first video, I want you to spend that time, start with the foundation. If we can't build the foundation first, you can't start putting the floor of the house on and the walls, because you don't have anything solid. It's just going to fall over. We need that solid foundation. And later, as we progress far enough, when we understand the problem, we're going to start working through the problem, through these emotional challenges, through the subconscious mind, and techniques to help you build the confidence to be emotionally competent. So now I can handle where I am now. Whatever happens in life, now we can start adding on top of that solid foundation, very helpful, simple manifesting techniques, many different kinds in many ways. Ones that will work for you, some might not, but we'll find ways that will. That now that foundation can support these techniques to help you move forward and create the success you want. And so do that for this video. That awareness practice, practice sitting, practice being with what you feel. And you're going to find that that's going to be very helpful. It's going to be hard to start with, but after a while, you're going to start noticing more and more. And as you contemplate, what were the beliefs around money? If that's what you're trying to create is money or success in business, what were the beliefs around success? Was I encouraged or supported through what I did? Or how about my emotions? Do I always react negatively? Do I push things away? Do I not allow things into my life? What happened when you were younger? Were you supported emotionally? Maybe you weren't. Maybe you didn't have somebody there when you felt, pain or emotions. Maybe you were told, you need to buck it up. Big boys don't cry. You need to get over it. You need to just push through it. All of these things turn into beliefs that become a way we operate in life through our created identity, and they limit us. They're limiting beliefs. How can you accomplish something if you deep down don't feel you're good enough? Because you were always blamed by somebody else when you were younger for all the things that happened or something like that. So we want to first understand this, okay? But we can't see it unless, it's like the map, go into Disneyland. If we don't know where we are, how can we get to Disneyland? So how can we create this success? That's without understanding where we are. That's why it's so important. And I'm repeating myself a lot because it's so important. If we try and skip steps here, it's not going to work. So the awareness practice sitting every day, contemplating, being, where did these lacks of success come from? Where do these feelings come from? Write it down on a piece of paper. What are the things holding me back? But every day, okay, I'm safe, I'm going to sit, I'm going to focus on my breathing, I'm going to be with what I feel, I'm going to practice just, it's safe. That's what it feels to be safe. And then when you're out and about in life, remember that. Go into your breathing and connect. Notice your feelings and emotions when you get triggered and pulled away. So the next video, we're going to take the next steps from here, but give this a go and start turning this into an everyday habit. Because if you want to succeed, this is important. This awareness, knowing where you are. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you've gotten a lot from it. My name is Arnie Peterson from Hypnotherapy Victoria. I help people online through video sessions and in person in Victoria, BC. And I help people to do these kinds of things, to succeed and move through these limiting beliefs and then create the success that they're wanting. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful rest of your day, and I really look forward to seeing you in the next video in the Financial Stress and Money Mindset series.